Hey, I'm Colin.
And this is our college football podcast.
All right, so that was a pretty crazy week. There were some upsets, but I feel like one of the biggest questions on everyone's mind is who's going to win this Heisman Trophy. So, Andrew, right now, who do you think is going to win?
Right. Well, I think there's a pretty clear favorite. There's only one player who's favored to win the Heisman, and that is Travis Hunter out of Colorado. You know, he's a DB and a WR. He's super impactful for a top 25 Colorado team. I think like what he's doing on both sides of the ball is like super impressive, extreme athleticism. You know, he's leading many categories statistics wise. You know, there's a lot of good, a lot of positive about him. Very developed player as well.
Yeah, I honestly agree with that. I feel like Travis Hunter, not only is he like such a great player and athletic, the fact he's playing both ways and he's influencing a whole new generation of kids to want to play both ways. He's like really, I'll be honest, he's pretty flashy and like he's plays for an exciting program which helps him a lot. And I really think there is no really strong candidates. I know Ashton Jentney was really good, but recently he's had a couple not off games, but games that aren't as impressive as his yards per carry have decreased drastically. And then Dylan Gabriel, I mean, he's a sixth year senior. He's doing okay. This is what is like third school. He's not that great. He's really just getting carried by a really strong team.
Yeah, just about Dylan Gabriel. I mean, if Oregon loses like Miami did, then he's totally out of the picture. And it's really between Ashton Genie and then Travis Hunter, because Cameron Ward's out of the picture, and then the number 5 favorite is Curtis Rourke out of Indiana plus like 1,500 odds. So it's really Travis Hunter like has this in the bag. I'm sure he's really confident that he'll get it this year.
Yeah. Um. Yeah, I feel like another Rourke is another situation where I don't think he is a standout player. He's just a leader of a really strong team. I feel like that's the same thing for Dylan Gabriel.
Yeah.
So I feel like the
yeah.
only standout players are really um Colorado's Travis Hunter and Boise State's Ashton Jentney.
All right. You want to move on?
All right, let's talk about this upcoming week. There's gonna be some big games. Some games I've been waiting for almost all season.
Yep. All right. What do you want to? Do you want to start us off with Indiana versus Ohio State, which is like the huge game for
Yeah,
this
this
week?
is the game of the week. I've been really high on Indiana all year. And I feel like this is their first like real test. This is the game of the year right now for Indiana. And I feel like just Ohio State's been good, but they've been nothing special. And that's kind of why, Indiana's undefeated for a reason. I think they're going to come in every single week strong. And I feel like they'll figure out a way to win this game.
You know, I just wanted to point something out real quickly. You know, Ohio State's big win is against Penn State, and Penn State doesn't really have any like huge impressive wins either, and they only beat them by like a touchdown. I think Ohio State is to a certain degree kind of unproven, just like Indiana is, because Indiana has no ranked wins. Period. So I think we'll learn a lot from this game. We'll really learn how good Indiana is, and I think that Indiana has a good shot to take down Ohio State at Ohio State.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that. So here's another big game: BYU Arizona State. I feel like this is one I find really interesting. BYU just lost. I feel like, they're a fraud. I think we all know that.
Yeah.
And Arizona State is coming off a big win. I think against Kansas State. So, what do you think the outlook on this game will be?
So I mean, ASU is projected to finish in like the bottom of the conference, and they're kind of like Phoenix rising from the ashes here. They're like 8-2 now, with some pretty solid wins. So I actually think it's at Arizona State. I think that they'll come out with a win against BYU.
Yeah, I really like Cam Scadaboo. I watched him play last year. Just he runs hard. He's physical. He's a workhorse. He gets a lot of carries, and I think he's gonna be the difference maker in this game.
For sure. All right, I want to take it to the SEC. Kentucky at Texas. There aren't a lot of great games this week. In Texas, but Texas is like the number 3 team, and Kentucky with nearly an upset against Georgia off by 1 point and an upset against Ole Miss. I think they'll give Texas a run for their money. I think this will be a good solid test for Quinn Ewers, and I think that this game will be like pretty close, really competitive, and it's super fun to watch.
Yeah, no, that will be a very interesting one. I feel like just because of how Kansas has played the last 2 games, what do you think about Colorado, Kansas? I know Kansas just pulled off 2 upsets in a row, Iowa State and BYU. Are they going to make it 3?
To be honest with you, I don't think so. I was really down on Colorado last year, and they didn't really prove anything, but they've made a lot of improvements. I think only 3 returning players from like last year, and that includes Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter. So I think Colorado is gonna put an end to Kansas's little run here. Kansas was ranked about number 20 going into the season, but they lost like the first few games, and they really haven't been at that level since. So I don't know. How do you feel?
I think Kansas has the potential to pull it off. I think they have the athletes, their quarterback, Jalen Daniels. Don't get him mixed up with Jaden Daniels, who's doing really well for the Commanders right now. I think he has the potential, the pure physical ability to pull off an upset. But yeah, I think they're just gonna run out of steam. 2 big wins. I don't think they're gonna make it 3.
All right. Before we get to SC, I think one more game that we should hit, unless you have others in mind, is Army at Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Ever since like the A&M game and then like the loss at NIU, Notre Dame really hasn't had much trouble. I think for the most part they've really steamrolled all their opponents, and they've acquired a number 8 ranking. So what do you think Army will test them much, or do you think it'll be another easy win for?
Here's the thing.
Notre Dame.
You look at the team that I would feel is most similar to Army. That would be Navy, right? Military school, kind of run heavy, similar scheme. And we can look at that game, 51-14. And unfortunately, I kind of have the same outlook on this game. I think it's going to be... I don't think it's going to be as bad as an upset. A blowout, but I feel like Notre Dame has this game by at least 14 to 17 points.
Agreed. And Notre Dame has a much more prolific offense than Army does, so I think it'll be a high scoring game only for them. All right, moving on to the final game of the week, and just a little SC kind of recap. USC at UCLA. Will you be going? What are your thoughts?
I don't think I'll be going, but I really think this will be an interesting game. It's a rivalry. Both teams have been horrible this year. Terrible. I think USC, it's just been bad. We need this win to make a bowl game. But I think we are going to win because Jaden Maiava, yes, he looked a little bit shaky at the start. Yes, he got lucky. But I think he's just taking some time to really settle in. We're definitely more talented, more athletic of a team. We see our receivers, Zachariah, Deuce Robinson. You see the type of catches they're making. And I just feel like we're just so much more of a talented team than UCLA that I think we're just going to be able to win by being more talented.
I agree. A lot of talent at SC. Kamari Ramsey. He really showed out and really helped the Trojans last game. Big props to him. And I think talented players such as him, Branch, he got some action. Deuce Robinson came down with a huge catch, right on the 2-yard line. So a lot of stars, Kyron Hudson, Mekhi Lemon, a lot of stars, a lot of great players for the Trojans. They are the 3.5 point favorite, but if we look at the past 2 years, USC is taking some L's against UCLA. So we're gonna have to
know.
Right. You never know. It's a rivalry game. Not much of a rivalry anymore, but still,
yeah.
I think it could be fun to watch. It might be really sad to watch. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, no, with those type of games, you just never know. Rivalries especially. I don't care if USC is 12-0 and UCLA is 0-12. It's just gonna be a good game. I feel like it could go either way. I just, I gotta support. I like the Trojans on this one.
Yep. All right.
Well,
Thanks for watching.
thanks for watching.
Yeah.
So we're gonna post some shorts after this.
Shorts.
So make sure to watch our shorts. We are kind of switching with the new era of media, how it's a lot more short focused, and I think we're gonna keep our long form videos. We're also gonna provide you with some shorts every single